They keep denying us. Come on, we see you. ABF, reparations. They keep denying us our reparations. And so until they commit to giving us our reparations, we need to commit to being in these streets. We got to fight back. 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 And racism means we got to fight back. And racism means we got to fight back. Reparations means we got to fight back. Reparations means we got to fight back. Police murder means we got to fight back. Police murder means we got to fight back. City schools means we got to fight back. City schools means we got to fight back. And racism means we got to fight back. And racism means we got to fight back. We got to do what? We got to fight back. We got to do what? We got to fight back. We got to do what? We got to fight back. We got to do what? We got to fight back. 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 Let's go. All right. Sorry about that. Shut it down! What?
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? We're out here on the west side, Austin neighborhood, Equity and Transformation, and several other organizations rallying for reparations. And let me clear my throat. Out here rallying for reparations. The passage of H.R.40. H.R.40, of course, is just saying start studying reparations so then we can continue to get reparations, all 5 pillars as described by the UN. So this is going on, of course, during the DNC, because the Democratic Party needs to make it clear that they support this and stand for this, y'all. Cannot continue to be overlooked constantly every election. Out here deep, several hundred folks.
Shut it down! Shut it down!
2 days of rallies, 2 days of the Democratic Convention, there's no mention of reparations. Why is that? 2 days, we're on the 3rd day, will there be a mention of reparations? Racial justice, economic justice. What up, bro? How you feeling, man? Nice to meet you. We're on the west side in Austin, one of the communities that has been harmed the most by systemic racism. Because as you know, it ain't just slavery. It's Jim Crow, apartheid, it's a war on drugs, and the legacy of all of that continues today. Right, you see what I'm saying? They ain't say a one thing. I got some more commentary on that coming soon, when I get myself settled after this. 2 days of a rally, several hundred speakers, no mention of reparations, no mention of H.R.40. No mention of racial justice. So let me know what y'all think, though. It's just something I've observed. Something I've observed. I've been watching, I've been listening. I've been paying attention.
I believe that we will win.
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 Who shuts it down? Who shuts it down?
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
They always got the whole voice.
And also for clarity too, it's an organization I'm a part of, Equity and Transformation. Been fighting for reparations. We didn't just start doing this. The primary focus for those who've been following my content for a while is war on drugs reparations. So now we're talking about the whole thing, the continuum.
Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down!
I see y'all. I see it. I see it. I see the commentary.
We don't need
Appreciate the feedback. Appreciate the feedback. We out here. We out here.
Freedom. Back up. We want freedom. All these racist ass cops. We don't need them. Freedom. Back up. Back up. We want freedom. All these racist politicians. We don't need them. Fight back. Freedom.
Look at
We don't need them. Back up.
trying to taunt.
Right.
All these racist politicians.
Rest in peace, Chairman Fred.
Back up.
Yes, sir.
All these racist ass cops.
Blow it your way.
Y'all tell me though, how y'all been feeling about the DNC so far? Y'all let me know. Now was the time to make demands, my opinion, so it's clear on what we expect if elected for anybody that's in office. Not just the president. We got local elections coming up, y'all. We got state reps. We got U.S. reps. Yes, indeed. We are definitely entitled. God damn. You good. We say study because H.R.40 is on the books right now. Get the ball rolling, get it to the next step. Historically, Rep. Conyers, rest in peace, he advocated to have it studied first because he first wrote this in 1989 and he knew the political climate was not one that would support us. So he was like, let's get the ball rolling, let's lay it all out. He also helped with Japanese claims for reparations. And even if a bill isn't passed for a study of reparations, there is a lot of studying that goes on with reparations claims.
Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down if we don't get it!
Yep. I agree. I take the power back. Starts with the people. Starts with the grassroots.
Show me what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like.
Workers of the world unite!
So if you're just tuning in, we're out here rallying on the west side of Chicago, and we're not too far from the United Center where the DNC is taking place. We're out here with Equity and Transformation, the Illinois Commission for Reparations. We're out here with several other organizations, people from out the state, out of town. We're out here from various backgrounds, demanding reparations for those who are impacted by enslavement, Jim Crow, war on drugs, all of that. That starts with the study, H.R.40, which was first written in 1989 by John Conyers. The current Congress can push it forward right now. We don't have to wait. You heard her. You heard her. So the Congress now, as they stand, they can pass it along. I'm talking to live right now. We ain't got to wait to the election. They can pass it along. Joe Biden can sign it, which would, to me, set up Kamala, put her in a good place to win the election. Sign that thing, and then we get that study going. And then we commence to disperse the reparations. That does not just include cash payments. It does include it, but it's not just cash payments. So we out here on the west side. West side of Chicago, rallying for reparations, demanding what is owed. Not begging, demanding what is owed. The harm hasn't stopped.
Who's city? Our city. Whose fight? Our fight. Whose fight? Our fight.
Do y'all think it's gonna happen? Y'all think it's feasible? Think it's feasible? Really, the answer lies in us. It's feasible if we make it. It's gonna happen if we make it. You gotta do something that's never been done. And to do that, you gotta do something you never did.
We don't get it. Shut it down. We don't get it. Shut it down. We don't get it. Shut it down. Shut it down. That's racist system. Shut it down. That's racist system. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut this racist system down.
You can support your favorite politicians and also tell them what you demand and expect. The truth of the matter is, though, if you don't let them know up front what you expect, that relationship ain't gonna go the way you expected. Relationship with anybody, romantic partner, friendship, you gotta be clear on what your expectations are up front. Otherwise, it's doomed. Otherwise, they're gonna take advantage of you. Otherwise, they're gonna abuse you. And I think it's clear who's been abused. And not just us. Not just us. Because this overlaps with class issues too. Once we get what we deserve, then this country can finally start to make progress towards being a great place. Got a long way to go, y'all. So if you're tuning in, make sure you follow along. Equity and Transformation. Their page is EAT.org Chicago.
Can't take it no more.
Get out the way, I ain't done with
CPD, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Debate on. We charge you with genocide. CPD, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. We charge you with genocide. We charge you with genocide.
Let's move.
We charge you with genocide.
Walk a little bit forward, y'all.
We charge you with genocide.
Yeah, I wish I had known what you call it. Sean, you know
Yeah, that's who told us this time. And I said, let me check that. They've been rolling.
We demand reparations. We demand reparations. Stop racist deportation. 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 We demand reparations. We demand reparations. We demand reparations.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
We demand reparations.
Somebody just handed me some water. That's love right there. That's love. I need that. I need that. Yes, indeed. No problem, y'all. No problem. We're talking about the same thing, y'all. We've been talking about 1865. And keep that context. This type of protest ain't just springing up. 1865, right? 1920s, people made the demand.
We'll shut it down.
Civil rights movement, people made the demand. Queen Mother Moore, for example, look her up.
Shut it down.
Brother John Conyers wrote this legislation, H.R.40, 1989, just to start the study. It's been 35 years. 35 years. Not even the study has passed. That's why we rally. That's why we must continue to ask this question. The reason why this is even discussed more publicly, the reason why states like California are on the verge of passing it, is because we've changed the discourse politically. This used to be a thing no politician would touch. Now you have to. Nobody said they wasn't gonna vote. Nobody said they weren't gonna vote. A protest mean you ain't voting. Not sure how that was the conclusion drawn.
I can smell it a little bit.
And no, Trump won't do that. We ain't going. But no, I'm not saying don't vote. This is a rally for reparations.
freedom, freedom. We don't need them. We want freedom, freedom.
All right, I'm gonna check back in with y'all a little later. If you in the area, come on out. Shoot, we out here. We're gonna be out here for most of the day.
I say? You know, what's happening first? What's happening, people? How you doing? How you feeling? Maragani and James Sate Sana, what's up? What's the news? What's going on? Alafia, Assalamu alaikum, all of that, my people. So, since I came up here from Florida to be here with y'all, all the way up from Florida, I'm not from Florida because since I've been here in Chicago, I see how territorial y'all are. Who's on the west side, who's on the south side? Like, you can't have a conversation about anything without somebody referencing south side, north side, east side, west side. I get it. So I represent for the dirty south. Yes, sir. The dirty south, thanks to Goody Mob and Cool Breeze. I'm representing for the dirty south. Word. And last year I was here in Evanston in December, and we had a conversation with Brother Darrell in Cobra in December. And he said, DNC's coming here. We got to do something. I'm with it. Whatever y'all do, I'll be there. And I'm here. I've been speaking at different events for reparations, and I'm here now.
Right.
One of the things that's so important to me, but it's already been lifted up, is the 5 forms of reparations. That is the calling card for understanding this movement, the 5 forms of reparations. Cessation and non-repetition, restitution. But when we talk about restitution, in my mind, it talks about what it would look like before the crime happened. So we're talking about restoring ourselves to our ways of being, our African cultures and traditions. That's what was also stolen from us, not just money and resources, but our languages, our ways of being. And we want to get back that as a part of our reparations movement. But what I really wanted to leave you with is, as a little bit seasoned organizer and activist, you know, the reason why I'm so excited about coming is because one of the things we've done all of the work. Cam laid out all of the work that's been done and how we move cities, how we move states, Illinois, New York, California. We've moved all of these cities, Evanston right up the road from you all. But we still haven't moved to the point of getting reparations. And so what I say is necessary is two things. One is that we have to be more clear on what we want. There's no reparations package that's been put out there yet. I've seen different things. There's a template plan, there's a few other things, but not a detailed, comprehensive package. And we want to work to organize and put that together, number one. Once we have that, then we go to DC. We come to DC a million strong. We come to DC and say we're not leaving. We don't do it on the weekend. We got lazy with some of these marches and protests. Who can tell me when the March on Washington was? What day of the week was the March on Washington?
Wednesday, I think. Wednesday.
Saturday, Sunday, I hear some guesses. Wednesday is actually the right answer. Wednesday, we have to do it on a weekday. That's what Martin Luther King talked about. You have to confront power. You let people know we're serious. The Millionaire March was also on a Monday. They know that we're serious when we're taking out time during the day of our lives, not going to work, not doing those things that we normally do, to show up for what we want during the week, not on the weekend. We have to disrupt and shut down DC and shut down Chicago and shut down Atlanta until we get our reparations. That's what it's going to take. We got to have the plan, and then we got to be willing to put our bodies on the line. All right. Thank you very much.
Real quick, just want to know we just got some more waters up here in the front. So if you need some water, stay hydrated, stay safe. Next we're bringing up Mr. Ernest Krim. Brother Krim!
I'm sorry, organizing, we always have to make sure we leave you what's next in the organizing. So from 2:30 to 6 today at the DeSalvo Museum, there's a reparations strategy meeting being led by Cam, the Movement for Black Lives, and other organizations. So we encourage you after this to come by there to lend your voice to what's the next steps after the DNC leaves from Chicago. What's the next steps? What are we going to do next? So that meeting is at 2:30. Y'all might be still marching, but it'll go on to 6. So come on through, I think that's right, 2 to 5. And there'll be a watch party also from 6 to 9:30 at the DeSalvo Museum. Thank you for your time.
Family, the time is now. My name is Mr. Ernest Crane III. I'm a former classroom teacher who made the leap to teach our community through social media and across the world through speaking engagements because I understood the urgency of now. The time I spent in the class, I realized that they were conditioning our kids to not understand the importance of this movement. Every year I was in the class for 12 years, I taught the importance of rectifying what the harm was that happened to us. I would teach enslavement and I would show a chart that showed everyone who got reparations in our country. And then when it came to us, you saw $0. Through the 2010s, I taught about this time and time again. But the issue was our education departments do not prioritize teaching our children this, because it can't just be one of us, because they know if we begin to teach our babies this from a young age, then it becomes a demand. If we start teaching our kids this at 6 years old in first grade as opposed to memorizing the pledge, well, by the time they 18, 12 years and they graduate and they can vote, they demand the same thing we're demanding now. This is not an education system, y'all. It's like Carter G. Woodson said, it's a miseducation system. See, we have to understand, y'all, that when we talk about who got reparations, 1988, Japanese Americans who rightfully deserved reparations got reparations 40 some odd years after they harm happened. One of the allies they had was a brother named Representative John Conyers. That was 1988. The year after that, John Conyers, with the help of Japanese Americans who were organized then, said, we have to get the ball rolling for reparations. He understood in the 80s that the consciousness of the collective in this country was not ready to just say, give people cash immediately. So he commissioned a study to say, we have to figure out what is exactly needed, y'all. Y'all, that was 1989. That was 35 years ago. And we're still talking about the same thing. We didn't even say give reparations yet with that bill. We said just study. Imagine yourself waiting 35 years to study for that exam you were supposed to study for 35 years ago. Well, you didn't get your diploma because of that. 35 years for the study. We talking 1865, we were demanding 40 acres of the mule. There were 400,000 acres put aside for us. Lincoln was assassinated. Andrew Johnson said, no, we good on that. 400,000 acres, but who got reparations? The former enslavers. They got repaired for losing us when they viewed as property. Y'all, we're talking 159 years since enslavement ended. The time is now, y'all.
Yes, sir.
We're talking from 1865 with black codes. We're talking Jim Crow all the way to 1968. We're talking 103 years of Jim Crow apartheid. The time is now, y'all. Come on, y'all. We're talking Black Wall Street. We're talking the Chicago race ride. We ain't getting a reparations for that either, right? We're talking about Rosewood. We're talking about Bronzeville. We're talking about the West Side, the South Side. The time is now, y'all, because right after the Jim Crow era supposedly ended, then we get the war on drugs, right? And it's been 0 years since the war on drugs has ended. Y'all, the time is now. See, if you look at the DNC manual and you scroll down and when they talk about racial equity, there's a very small blurb that says that they want to support H.R.40, the study for reparations. It's been 2 days of the DNC. I ain't watched every single bit. I watched some of it. It's a little too much for me. A little too much. But correct me if I'm wrong. I ain't heard nobody mention reparations yet. The time is now, y'all. What they waiting for, they must be waiting for us. See, the problem is we have to make sure it's not just us that's aware, it's everybody else. And I'm going to close on this, y'all, because this is very important. I was reading this book, and it was talking about the re-enslavement process with education, right? And they talked about with re-enslavement through education, one of the most important things they wanted us to focus on was just simply trade and not enough on our knowledge. And they said one of the things that hurt the process was black folks during this time in the 1860s, 70s, and 80s would start to flee the South. Now we know Great Migration, that's why a lot of us here, right? They said they decided to threaten them and force them to stay put in the South by using armed guards. armed white man, right? Yeah. Okay, police officers, right? And here's the most important thing you got to understand. They said that the best way to control black people, the New York Times reported this, was to keep them at a state that was right above bondage, all right? Right above bondage will satisfy them. If you look around in our neighborhoods, y'all, South Side, West Side, wherever we are, Detroit, New York, we are kept in a state that's right above bondage, where we can be pacified. We got to understand the urgency of now, because we demand reparations now, not yesterday. Right. We're talking in this moment. Reparations now. Now. Thank you, y'all.
That's right, brother.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Caitlin Johnson. I'm Executive Director of Black Roots Alliance, and we're based here in Chicago. We're an organization committed to the safety and liberation of all Black people. And so we believe that in order for democracy to be real, elected officials must be held accountable to deliver what the people demand. Reparations has been a demand since the system of chattel slavery allegedly ended, but we've already heard today that the system has not ended, it just transformed itself. We all know that systemic anti-blackness is still part of the American experience, with chains that look like the bars of mass incarceration, with whips that look like the war on drugs, and with fields that look like racial redlining and disinvestment from Black communities. But it doesn't have to be this way. America can look like the ideals of the Constitution, with opportunities for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all, because it already looks like that for some people. Well, some groups have already received their reparations, and it's time for Black people to receive ours. If it can work for anyone, it can work for everyone. But in order to get there, we have to repair the harms of anti-Blackness. If the government can spend money on wars that steal, kill, and destroy, then they can make a different choice. They can choose differently and reinvest in policies that repair, restore, and rebuild. It's a choice that the elected officials keep making. But we have an opportunity to make our choice as we approach this upcoming election. I don't know why you're here today, but I'm here because I'm here to stand in the gap as a bridge between the past and the future, being able to stand on the shoulders of my ancestors and hold space for my descendants. I'm here for all Black Chicagoans, all Black people in the United States, and recognizing this is a global priority, but we have to move locally, we have to move federally, and we need to make it happen today. Thanks for coming out. Let's keep this momentum going. We'll see you in the street.
Y'all ready to get back marching?
Yeah. All right, you all, we're about to get ready to do this. Want the individual with the E sign, want you all to go over here on the sidewalk. You all are going to be leading us. The one with the reparation sign will be right behind them. We're going to be lining up the twos, going all the way to Western. When we get to Western, we're going to be making a right. And we're going to be standing on the sidewalk, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to line up. We're going to get this done. We're going all the way from Western to Harrison.
All right, y'all, we gonna start.
Don't undercut yourself, right? They need to understand what are all of the harms that occurred, because of course chattel slavery is one piece, but then you got right after that you got black codes, you got sharecropping, you got the war on drugs, you got redlining, you got mass incarceration, right? And so for me, you can make them fast forward if you want to, but in reality, what they need to do is really go back and look at the history of Black folks, identify what the harms were, and cut the check. You get what I'm saying? But don't make them skip that, because they can just make up a number, right? My thing is do the study, identify the harms, produce the proposals for repair, right? And so that requires a commission. People question like why they gotta have a commission, why you gotta have a study, because it's necessary. Right? We can't just guesstimate on this. You know what I'm saying? We need to know the facts. And so I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Carl.
Yeah, just real quick, man. Just touching on what Dr. Kajan had put in the comments, man. Yeah, it is all psychological. It's always been a psychological warfare to break us mentally as a people. But one of those things, man, I was discussing today was that and Alonzo had touched on this, even the financial part. we especially when I'm at Joliet, there's no more black community. Now, I don't mean it's not places where black people live. There's places where black people live, but there's no black ownership. It's not one area where black people mostly own. You know what I mean? The residences in that area where there's a black owned store, where there are black businesses that's in that one community where the black dollar could recirculate and add value to that community, right? And so when we talk about reparations and people talk about trying to get the bag, they have to understand first that every single time that our economy, that we have built a stable for an economy financially, it gets stripped away from us. But yet today, we are the number one spender. We are the support for everybody else's economy. Our black dollars supports everything. You know what I mean? And so it's crazy. Hey, Ernest, you got a charger?
Yeah. Keep talking. I got you. Keep talking.
But our dollar supports everything.
We'll keep it going. Well, welcome to the Zoom, everybody. We are having a talk on reparations with Ernest Graham, Carl Farrell, and Alonzo Waheed. But yeah.
No, one of the things that you lifted up, though, Rich, that I was going to comment on is like how you said that, you know what, if individuals don't want to go back, right? The way that you handle saying, I'm not going to say anything negative about you. That part right there speaks volumes, right? Because usually is I need to get at your head. I'm about to come at you. I'm going to disrespect you just because of a disagreement. But if we learn how to work in conjunction with one another, right, and not have so much hate for one another off of the hate that we have for ourselves, I think that we begin to solve a whole lot of our problems, especially when we start asking ourselves, where did this low self-esteem come from? Where did this low worth come from for self? Where did this low value of self comes from, right? And then start moving to understanding truly who we are, right? Understanding why we are, and then moving to where we are and saying our destination can be dictated by us. And then that comes from being able to heal, being in a space where we can heal to be able to identify those things. And with that, we're able to move forward. But as long as we're not addressing it and we're continuing to do any and everything else except that, we'll stay in this perpetual state of staying exactly where they want us to be, right? Yeah. Allowing them to lead us, govern us, all right, and not just understanding truly and wholly on who we are. Because again, it's in a broken mind state, and it's time to repair that harm.
Yeah, I want to chill out here with you. I want to touch on a couple things too, like couple things y'all saying. Y'all putting on a master class, honestly. The first thing that came to mind with me is I never been to the motherland, not yet, but I do know that just the feeling of firstly going back to the South, getting away from the industrialization of the city and everything. You get a certain feeling, and then going to a place like Jamaica, like I can't even, and that's not even where we from, but just me going there twice, the feeling, the people, the way it looks. I would imagine that's a sample of what it feels like to be back home. And there are, organizations, shout out to African Ancestry, that can help us reconnect in some way. I know we have a variety of ancestors, but they will help you connect with, your and not just the country, because we know those countries, that's made up, that's recent, right? So they talking about the tribal groups and things like that. Yeah. And what you all talk about in terms of like this being an aspect of reparations is really important too, because for me, we can't put we need the money. Yeah, it's a capitalist country. We're in a capitalist economy right now, but that's not like the only, like for us to think that's the only thing that can repair us is us taking on that mindset that enslaved us. Right. You know what I'm saying? You can't put a dollar amount on restoring me when I come from people who did not prioritize dollars over people. Right. Yeah. you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like we gotta do the work, man. Like it has to be, and it reminds me of John Henry Clark's quote. If you start your history with slavery, then the only thing you can become is a better slave. So what we are here is important, but we also have to understand, like you said, remembering those people who were forced on that ship. And I think about that often whenever I do work, whenever I'm, reading these narratives, or, Dr. Daniel Black has a very good novel on what that experience was like called The Coming that I would recommend everybody to read. And that book is so powerful. I don't know if y'all ever read a book that is so so triggering to you, you got to just stop. Like, the book ain't that long, but I'm like on the last few pages, and I've had to stop so much because he's reimagining what that experience was like on the ships and when we got here as we were being sold. Like, there's so much we don't even like consider that happened to our people, that whenever we commune, we got to just elevate the fact that us being here is a miracle.
Facts.
Like, we talking about
Miracle.
the Ma'afa, the Holocaust, like over the African Holocaust over hundreds of
Yes.
years. And we have people here that are alive, and we in our right mind, and we persevering, and we fighting. So the work that Equity and Transformation is doing, and what we're doing collectively, y'all, is of the utmost importance. And I look at it as something that's continuing or starting a new cultural tradition, because like y'all, like the work that you all are doing, that we're doing collectively in terms of going back to the motherland and creating new practices. Like, we do yoga and Equity and Transformation, right?
Schematics.
Like,
Also schematics.
Yeah, we do
Breathe,
schematics,
brother, breathe.
man. We do all of those things. Yeah, we do all of those things. It's just, I feel like everything that you're bringing up is super important. And as we continue to lift up the ancestors, right, I'm super, that's a very important piece to me. You know what I'm saying? To be able to piece that story back together. So I'm excited. I think one thing I want to let folks know is on the Zoom is that right now, right, Biden has H.R.40 sitting on his desk. It has already passed the House and the Senate. That means the Republicans said okay. The Democrats, House and Senate, said okay. And this man has refused to sign this document, right? And it's H.R.40 written by one of our comrades. His name is Cam Howard, right? And it would establish a commission, right, to actually explore reparations. It ain't even the check. It's just the first part, like what we did in the city of Chicago to create that commission to study and explore reparations. And this man has not signed it, right? So when you go into the voting booth, I want y'all to think about that, right, along with everything else, right? But this bill is sitting on this man's desk, and he refuses. And he knows, and for anybody that's not black, right? There was a report that was just released on the color of wealth. Shout out to Derek Hamilton, Dr. Amara Enya. But they put out this report that talked about the wealth in black communities, right? And so the average white family, the wealth was around 212,000. No, the wealth in the white community was like $212,000. Latinx was like 40 something $1,000. Black folks, the wealth was zero, right? And so you can't look. And then you look at the housing disparities, life expectancy disparity, the educational gap. You can't look at that and say a harm didn't occur. You have to see that and see a harm occurred. You have to look at that and see a harm occurred. Mass incarceration, the fact that 1 out of 3 black men is incarcerated, black women being the fastest growing population behind bars. All of these things, you can't look at us and say we don't need to invest in this community specifically, right? You get what I'm saying? And so reparations gives you that opportunity. And some of the policy folks get mad at me because they be fighting for single issues. I'm like, yeah, the single issues make sense, but you put it all together, take all of the policy games in the city of Chicago, put them together, and what they make up is reparations. So don't piecemeal our shit and then come oppose our shit. You get what I'm saying? You can't say, yeah, we need criminal justice reform, but we don't need compensation. You can't say we need treatment, but we don't need restoration. You can't say that we need, we believe in equity and transformation that we need it all, right? We believe that we need compensation. We believe that we need restitution. We believe that we need rehabilitation, right? And then the big pillar that's at the end of it is guarantees of non-repetition. We need to ensure that system of mass incarceration, that goes to the 13th Amendment. People fighting that campaign right now, right? And so
It
end
never
the
happened
exception
again.
is the name of the campaign. But if you really want to end the exception, you advocate for reparations. Because if you advocate for reparations, guess what? They got to amend, right, the exception. Because there's a guarantee of non-repetition. That means they will not repeat the same thing over again. So for me, I feel like reparations is that full picture. It is all of the policies. It's the criminal justice. It's the economic justice. It is all of the pieces in one policy for me. And that's what excites me about reparations, and it's why I'm like continuing to be in this fight.
Man. I know, right? Y'all over here spitting. You know, like, but what you bring up, I don't think I ever considered that. I didn't know H.R.40 made it that far. I don't think I knew
Sitting on
that.
his desk.
And to like, for one, for a group of people to have gone through what we have gone through, and for people to still oppose reparations or even just a study to get started, that shows you the depths of how people have been miseducated. We often talk about the miseducation of the Negro and everything, and that's an aspect too. But we don't often talk about the miseducation of non-black people in this country. You know, we talking white folks and everybody else that are learning implicitly and directly sometimes to be anti-black in this country, because this should be something that everybody is behind, you know. And it makes me wonder too, because like I think we also should elevate this. Hopefully Rich can get back on, but like y'all are doing something very historic. Well, we are, but y'all leaders. You know what I'm saying? But like when I saw the news of the reparations task force being established in Chicago, man, that's huge, right? That's like that's a big deal. I mean, you think about third largest city in the country. You look at the work that California is doing, but that's a whole state, right? We don't have that type of support statewide yet in Illinois, but this is leading the way. So, can you speak in any way to how that came to be and what this actually includes?
Yeah, so first of all, I want to say thanks for shouting that out. A lot of things have been just going on where we have been getting a lot of progress and winning in a lot of areas. With one, the Black Wellness Cohort, which I spoke about. This is our second year that we've launched. The Chicago Future Fund just came on a second year of that. We was able to give direct cash payments to individuals that was formerly incarcerated. Looking at from before that, the Survival Economies report that came out to actually let individuals know that we're not just talking about this, right? We're going to do the research to show and prove that what we've been knowing forever is actually true. That we've been surviving off of nothing and figuring out a way to do that. But it all has accumulated. But to now, we're looking at that has now been pushing forward. The mayor of Chicago has signed the executive order to make sure that the study for reparations is going to go ahead and be moved forward, right? It's not like we're about to sit back and wait for this or, going to vote on this. Like, no, I'm signing an executive order so we can go ahead and get this done. And then with that now, once the study is there, like Rich said, we're not going to short ourselves. We're going to make sure that everything is done the right way. All right. But now we can start looking at what is it really going to look like for Chicago to be able to have reparations. This is real now. So again, I want to thank you for lifting that part up, because there is a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of work going on here at Equity and Transformation, but that has been a major win. Rich was actually at the airport. He called me saying, "Hey, you got to get over here. We're finna raise that flag for Juneteenth. We're going to celebrate that, right?" But in celebrating the raising of the flag for Juneteenth, the mayor's like, "I'm signing this executive order right now." So that's where we're at right now. Rich, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, the task force is established in the city of Chicago to explore reparations. You right on point with all of that. Yeah, and then as far as HR40, or I think you got Evanston has got a project, and we got. I mean, everybody that's doing work around reparations is creating I would say it's creating some urgency, right? Because the more articles you see on it, the more news. So if you out there and you're a writer, if you make a hell of a post, or you're a graphic designer, start talking about reparations wherever you at. You know what I'm saying? And whatever platform or whatever medium, if you're a bike rider, get a sticker on your jersey or something that say reparate. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to continue to lift this up because it's that one call. You know, it's that one call to action. I feel like we've been talking about for generations. And so yeah, H.R.40 is there. The California has also established a commission and completed a study, I believe, and the results of that study are out. Yeah, and folks plug in, and you can also join, eat, become a member. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to throw that out there. We have we talk about reparations and we hold forums and hold space for that all the time. You know, things like that.
Yeah, and I would say, for people that's listening to this right now, right? What does it look like to be able to truly realize and live a full and thriving life, right? Without limitations, without operating in scarcity, without operating in fear, that individuals can come and just take you away. Often when I'm out and I'm speaking about reparations, I would ask individuals, people of color, to just ask themselves, think about coming over to a country as capital and then realize that this is a capitalistic society. Everything is based on you being at the bottom, and only your only purpose here is to make sure that their life is better. And that's why I always ask that question, saying, no, break that. What does it look like for your life to be better, right? Without the only reason for you being here is to provide for somebody else's life to be better. So I would ask each and every one of y'all to ask that question to yourselves today.
That's powerful. We do have some conversation in the chat. Some people were saying HR40 was still waiting in I think the House Judiciary. Let me get that right. Judiciary Committee. Did you have any background on that, Rich?
I can so maybe we can add. I can't go back and forth between my phone and the screen, so it's making it harder. But you need to check out earntheblackvote.com. The entire history of the bill is there, right? It has all of the different positions that the bill has been in over the course of the years. But he talks very clearly about the bill passing in both the House and the Senate. I believe that was in 20. Right, it's been during the Biden administration.
Okay. And I think that person put HR 52, so I don't even know if we're on the same page with that, but I just want to make sure we got that out there. So earntheblackvote.org, you said, or .com?
Is it .com or .org?
Well, they'll figure it out. Yeah, they'll figure it out. It'll correct them.
Yeah.
But I like that too, in terms of, like, as we get ready to wrap up, like the fact that, I mean, we know this is necessary, especially on the federal level, but these things don't happen unless it's a grassroots effort first. And going to our history, I always will pinpoint the fact that even when women, or we could say white women, got the right to vote in 1919, like that started in 1870 with Wyoming. And it took like almost 50 years for that to become something that was national. So we got to start, city by city, county by county, state by state. And of course, then we get that, that thing on the federal level done. So now, with that said too, y'all, like how can people join Equity and Transformation? We are based in Chicago and Joliet, but how do people get involved here, and if they're not in the city?
They can go to www.eatchicago.org, and all you got to do is click that membership link, sign up to be a general member, or you can sign up to be an ally. The other piece is that the third cohort will be coming to Joliet for the Black Wellness piece in August. So if individuals want to sign up for that, they can go in there and they can sign up. The other part, though, it is real easy. Again, go to that website, hit us up, and it's not like we're afraid to talk to people. As you all can see, we're right here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Hey, and then, man, before we get out of here, I just want everybody to understand, because it's a lot of people who still, even though we just came on, our purpose was to come on here. I really wanted to hear you three talk, because you all y'all real knowledgeable, you know what I mean, about everything that's going on. Inspiring to me. And with that being said, it's still people who don't understand the importance of organizing and the steps of organizing, right? So you can't accomplish anything without organizing. I talk to a lot of guys and they be like, man, why y'all march, man? You want something, you just got to take it, man. I ain't with all that march and stuff. And I'm like, well, you will never accomplish anything. You will always be a standalone guy, you know what I mean, with your own opinion. But we going up against a very, very organized system that's been here for hundreds of years, organized in a manner to keep us oppressed. And so the only way for us to combat that is to organize. There's no amount of change you can have without any kind of organization. There's no structure without structure. It's nothing. And so that's why it's critical for us to come together in these kind of spaces, and for people who, you know what I mean, the people that's on here who's watching this, if you see this and you agree with what we're saying and you want to participate, go on the link and get involved so that you can know, you know what I mean, and we can organize this together regardless of what you got going on. You know what I mean? Because it take all the pieces of the puzzle to make one big picture.
Yep.
But you know what I mean? We gotta move together. If we're not moving in solidarity, then we really just, you know, bumping our heads against a system that's moving and has been organizing against us. I don't know if everybody's had a chance, but check out what Project 2025 is.
Yep, I was just about to say that.
And that, my friends, that is the if that's not eye opening, if people are not aware of what's going on in the southern states and how they are stripping Black history from the curriculum of grammar schools, and how they made African American AP Studies courses illegal, and how they made it illegal to have Black Lives Matter protests and other things in certain states down south. If you don't understand that, then you need to understand the key words that they use, because they always use words to hide what they really saying. It's always a new way to say nigga. And right now, the new way to say nigga is saying democratic cities. And so in Project 25, in Project 25, they say that one of the things they want to be able to do, besides giving a whole lot of like crazy tyrannical power to the president, is to be able to use U.S. military in democratic cities. So they saying they want to use the Army and the armed forces in our hoods. Now they test ran it with COVID. Remember when it was a tank sitting out west? They test ran it. They test ran it to see how they could do with the population control. But what I'm saying is that they organizing. And if we not organizing, then we gonna fall victim to whatever plan that they trying to accomplish. You know what I mean? There's people out here who every day they wake up, how we think about freedom and we think about ways to achieve equity and transform this system. There's people who think about ways to keep this system going and to even make it greater. So,
and real quick, I stand corrected though. Shout out to Carl. I stand corrected. Here is the line. Leaders within the Democratic Party in the last Congress demonstrated the political will for reparations and the Reparations Commission. There was 217 confirmed yes votes in the House and half of the Senate committee chairs, along with the Senate leader, and many of their colleagues signed on to the bill. They couldn't get full bipartisan support, and they need an executive order for the bill to move, right? And so I was wrong. It did not pass in the Senate. We got half of the Senate and the Senate leader, right, signed onto the bill. And so we need this executive order. And so, again, it is sitting on his desk. Y'all remember when Trump got in office and just started signing shit and signing shit? You know what I mean? We was like, I didn't know you could do things like that. He was just making it rain policies. I was like, I didn't know. I thought you had to go ask people and get, there was a democratic process. He was like, nope.
He
Man,
said
Mike,
no Muslims, like everything.
Get that pen to work, family. We need them to put that pen to work.
Yeah.
So if y'all can, and it's earntheblackvote.net. My apologies. Earntheblackvote.net.
Well, let's even consider too. We was talking about, Juneteenth was last week, right? A lot of folks forget the Emancipation Proclamation was an executive order. The president cannot write a law. It did not become an amendment until the end of 1865. That's almost 3 years later. So if politicians have a sense of urgency, then they do what needs to be done, and then it becomes a law. And going back to what you were saying, Carl, about organizing, like we're constantly being organized against. They have these plans. It's probably something else beyond Project 2025 or whatever they got going on. And even think about the importance of marching and getting together. Like, what was that, 2017, when they was marching through Charlottesville? and we've seen everything that has come from just that display. Like the King and them was marching because they knew the power of the media and television, because they wanted everybody to see what was happening. So we come together and we march so that we can meet like-minded people, then we can use that energy to do what's being done on a regular basis with equity and transformation.
Yeah.
Hey, that was the nice way to say that.
Yeah, you know, Ernest know what he's doing. Yeah. And so we'll be in tune with all of y'all. We'll be in tune with all of y'all. But I do appreciate, you know, this opportunity to come on here and build, and continue to lift up this work. You know, Carl, thank you so much for your leadership on this intervention. You know what I mean? Like, you put this whole thing together. Like, man, Rich, I'm gonna do a whole month. I was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Hit my line. Let's do it. You know, but it takes that kind of innovation. And so for folks on this call, you know, I think that's a perfect example. Like, what can you do? You can organize a group of your homies to get together and go live and talk about reparations, right? Like, you don't need $1 billion and, you know, to do it. You can just jump online. As long as you got internet, you can get it popping. And so I would just really want to lift up Carl and your leadership, Ernest, your leadership, and, you know, Alonzo, of course, you already know. If you know each, you know Alonzo. And so he does it all. So yeah, and he's and so I just appreciate the opportunity to be here with y'all. To be honest.
Well, let me say this too before we go again. Like this is just 4 members, right? It's a whole team. It's a machine that operates. So I want to throw it right back at y'all, because I had no idea. Like, when I first met Zoe, I had no idea, like, just the degree that y'all get stuff done. So, like, y'all don't often see, you know, Carl, Alonzo, and Rich, because they are doing so much work that you can't even constantly keep up with posting that stuff online. But just know that they in Springfield getting stuff done, they international getting stuff done, and a lot of the things that we are benefiting from now, from you know, cannabis and beyond, that whole process comes from that organizing. And equity and transformation has only been around for how long now?
5 years.
Like 5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang. So Carl, so like when we doing this conversation again, let the people know how these conversations on reparations go.
Next Monday we gonna go into the cannabis equity portion of it. We're gonna get Nicole Laporte on there.
Hey.
Hey, and I bumped into this lady, man, who I'm looking up, man. Her name was Mary. It's Mary something, but I think I texted to y'all already. But I'm gonna check her out, because she was supposed to be pivotal with the creation of some of the cannabis equity steps, and now she's, man, it's like they running her. I know she did something, because they trying to run her to the ground.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Hey, real quick, hey Carl, you might want to tap the homie Chelsea. She in the comments right now on that for the call with Nicole.
Yeah,
because they just got done. Marijuana Justice is there. Shout out to Marijuana
If
Justice.
he got Nicole and Chelsea there, I will
be lit. It's gonna be up. I'm just gonna be the one in the comments cheering them on. So hit up Chelsea here, and you see in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said Mary Price.
Yep.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about, Chelsea. You know her?
Yeah, that's the homie. So that's the what? That's the homie.
These brothers
and so please connect if y'all can and sync for the next one, because the work that's happening, that the Marijuana Justice is involved in, they had some recent victories, but it's been a long fight. And I feel like every policy does a little bit better than the next. You know what I'm saying? And they're carrying the torch, right? So it was Cali, then Chicago, then New York did it better. You know what I'm saying? And now Marijuana Justice got it. You know what I mean? And they're moving. So please tap in.
Hey, and what's each Instagram? It's Eat Chicago, right? Is that it?
It's Eat Org Chicago. EAT Org Chicago.
Okay, I see. Okay, Eat Org. So yeah, make sure y'all follow. I'm typing it in the chat too. Follow Eat Org Chicago. Check out the website as well. Tap in with us, y'all. We getting the work done, y'all. These brothers and sisters are really doing it. So yeah, man. So thank y'all for tuning in and joining us. We're gonna make sure we save this, run it back. This insight was tremendous. Got a lot to consider moving forward. You want to ask something else before we hop off, Carl?
Just, man, tune in next week, same time, 6 p.m. We going live.
Yes, indeed. Peace, y'all.
Live. Peace.